This episode is brought to you by War Thunder. This is Jonathan Ferguson, the Keeper of Firearms Artillery at the Royal Armouries Museum in the UK, which houses a collection of thousands of iconic weapons from throughout history. And I'm your host, Dave Jewett, and we are back with hot dogs, horseshoes and hand grenades, as we may have accidentally helped influence the creation of some very cursed guns. I don't know if you recall the conversation we had last time.
Oh.
So you know how I told you, please don't look at social media for a couple of days?
Oh, God. Oh, it's horrible.
If you enjoy this kind of content, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on next week's episode. All of the main episodes are right here on YouTube, but you can find extended, even deeper editions of these episodes over on our Patreon. You can also get early access to not only next week's Call of Duty World at War video, but also our Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 episode, where we're joined by armor expert Toby Capwell. But I appreciate you all watching, liking, subscribing, commenting, and now without further ado, I'll throw it over to Jonathan.
Uh-oh.
What do you mean?
Why does the Glock have a handle?
Do Glocks not have handles?
Oh, no. It's a shot Glock.
It's a 12 Glouge.
12 Glouge. 12 Glouge? How are you fitting a 12 in your Glouge? That sounds terribly wrong.
Well, it's the scaling. There's no comparison.
Oh.
It's actually massive.
It's huge.
It's
okay,
not a
I
Glock
see.
close to your face. It's a massive.
How are we holding this?
With two hands.
I guess.
You've got a where normally an optic might be fitted. That's where your hand, the second hand goes.
Oh God, you can see how big it is with the M4 stock stuck to it magically. By the way, because that's not attaching to a buffer tube or anything. Oh God, I feel like I'm getting battered. Was this one of Anton's ideas, do we think, or has somebody else suggested it?
Last time we spoke to Anton, he says that cursed Glocks have sort of become a meme within the H3 community, so it's another one of those.
No
Very effective in taking hold, though.
I don't think they would be in real life. I don't think that's going to work well. The slide would have to come so far back to pick up the round. And I don't know if short recoil is gonna work with a shotgun cartridge. I don't know if anyone's tried scaling up a self-loading pistol to shotgun cartridges. Feed would be a problem. Basically, if you redesigned a Glock to reliably cycle shotgun cartridges, it wouldn't look like a Glock. Not really. God, see, inevitably, I'm trying to think how this would work. You'd have to design it around those mini shells, and I don't think they'd have enough oomph to actually operate the gun reliably. Well, thankfully I don't have any guns nearby, so I can take a sustaining swig of tea.
Calm your nerves.
Yeah, fortifying swig. Oh God, a handheld Gatling gun.
Hand crank Frank.
Problematic. I don't know if any of you know how much brass weighs and how much steel weighs. You could do it. So I've shot at the Cody Firearms Experience. Other Wyoming firearms experiences are available. They have a 45 of Colt caliber Gatling. Now that's mounted on a mount. If you designed a super lightweight one to shoot that cartridge, say, you could do this. And it's not, the recoil isn't the problem. Like with the minigun, hip firing the minigun famously is functionally impossible. You get 2 or 3 shots on target, the rest are to whom it may concern. Hand cranking, not a problem. But the sheer weight and bulk is not going to be conducive. But it's fun. It's very fun. Always enjoy on this type of Gatling the cascabel and button on the back of the thing, like it's a cannon. Because they were treated as artillery, of course. So what's the experience of virtually hand cranking this thing? Can you sustain? Sounds like it is slowing down when you go slower.
Yeah, it does. It does match the speed that your right hand is doing. So after a long gameplay session, it was getting slower. Or if I was trying to be more, I don't want to say aiming my shots because I'm just leading them with tracer, just slowly cranking it, and then when they get close, it's frantic crank.
I'm trying to remember. We have one next door, but it's got a Broadwell drum on it. That looks like it's a hopper setup, but it has a magazine inserted into it. Yeah, I'm not sure the feed is quite correct. Well, that was fun. I should not take sips of tea between
That was a risky sip.
clips. It really was. What is going on?
This is the Degle. So the context of this is it was a joke that was added because someone made a request for a Degle to be added, but misspelled it. So Anton just made the Degle.
And it's made of cardboard because
it's a fake imaginary. This is what Degle is. You can't tell me a Degle isn't cardboard.
presumably, though, the person that requested it wanted a real Desert Eagle.
Yeah, but he had to wait a little longer for that.
So he went to the trouble of modelling a corrugated cardboard fake Desert Eagle as a joke before actually developing the proper Desert Eagle.
I think so, or maybe it was a specific Desert Eagle, but I just know that this was in response to a request inspired by a misspelled user request for a specific Deagle.
What would be extra funny is if they requested the lightweight, the L5 or the L6.
That would make sense with it being cardboard.
Yeah.
But he also did all the sound effects for...
Yeah.
It's not got it's not got a report. It's got a pew, pew, pew.
Oh, that's what's happening.
That's Anton making gun sounds. It fires .50 imaginary. That's the caliber. So unless you change it to one of the ones that actually have a munition, it just makes noise. It's only when you get the flashier other .50 imaginary variants that you can start actually using it as a gun.
Oh, okay. Because here it is actually launching bullets that have an actual effect.
Yeah.
Do we know what the reaction of the person that's misspelled it was?
I don't actually. Maybe there was none other than just quiet annoyance. I don't know.
I want a lightweight Degle. Well, here you go.
So do you remember the 22 AR-15?
Yeah.
So this is H3's quote-unquote upgraded version called the A1600 A3000, a tactical variant of the M1600.
Yeah. We had a couple of people comment saying that they had the real one.
And the consensus seems to be that it was just a fun blinking range toy.
In fact, I kind of like it more because it's less trying to be an AR-15. It's more its own thing. I don't know that you'd be able to create a 22 drum magazine that looks like a 5.56 magazine and would reliably do more than just hold a single thickness of cartridges, as it were. You'd have to make it like helical with a feed tower, which seems like a recipe for disaster. Are you breaching with fully automatic 2.2?
Yeah, it takes some rounds to get through that lock and the door handle.
Breaching, eventually.
Whisper quiet with the suppressor on as well, though.
Oh no, I like the suppressed sound effects. You really do. I know I sort of commented recently about there's always a pop at the muzzle of a suppressed firearm, but certainly you hear the bolt operating when they're that quiet. So this really does sound good. And because if the action's nearer your, which it is, the action's nearer your ear than the quiet pop at the muzzle, that's why people come away thinking that the only noise you can hear is the bolt. It's not strictly ever true, I don't believe. I don't think anything's that quiet.
Taking a quick break from today's selection of cursed weaponry to tell you about today's sponsor, War Thunder. War Thunder is an incredibly detailed and comprehensive vehicle combat game, featuring over 2,500 tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships. Whether you want to take to the skies in a 1920s biplane or storm through the battlefield in a modern main battle tank, War Thunder's massive roster has a vehicle for you. There is no HP in War Thunder. Instead, War Thunder's X-ray view offers an inside look into your vehicle and War Thunder's detailed damage model. This way you'll know exactly where your expertly placed shots land and what components you destroy, helping you learn vehicle weak points as you climb the ranks and unlock new vehicles. Play War Thunder now on PC, consoles and mobile alongside a community of over 70 million players. New and returning players who haven't played in at least 6 months on PC and consoles can receive a huge bonus pack, including an exclusive vehicle decoration, 100,000 silver lions, exclusive vehicles, and 7 days of premium account time by clicking on one of the links in the pinned comment or description below. Thanks again to War Thunder for sponsoring this episode. Now, let's get back to the video.
Now, speaking of crazy designs...
I'm guessing you've seen videos of the BoltAction Glock?
Nope. Is this a real thing?
Yeah, this is something that an individual has made. I've seen there's footage out there of someone with this weird metal contraption at the front to create a BoltAction Glock.
Why?
Well, you don't have to break a Glock for it now. You can just see it in H3.
I mean, I guess Glock slides are 10 a penny, so not really a problem. Oh, they must have modified the barrel. Oh no, they're just locking it shut. They're stopping the slide from recoiling with a big chunk of steel and then opening that chunk of steel to manually do the cocking. That's bonkers. What have you done to it now?
Well, this is the only way to get an optic on it, to try and make it akin to something like a
BoltAction
sniper rifle. Absolutely horrendous to use, this was.
It looks it.
Well, the Easy Bolt made by Inlander Arms. That's right, it's a real product.
Sounds like it's not that easy. How bizarre. It's not even a legal benefit, because I don't think there's any jurisdiction where a manually operated self-loading pistol would somehow be legal to have, because double-action revolvers are manually operated as well. So it doesn't... I'm confused. Speaking of confusion...
So this Mosin was, Anton described it as a monkey's paw fulfillment of someone asking for left-handed bolt actions.
Oh.
So this is a Mosin that's been quote-unquote converted to left-handed operation with a bit of sheet metal.
It hasn't though, has it? Because if you shoot that left-handed, it's just as awkward.
Oh yeah, it is. It made my brain itch trying to quickly use the weapon during gameplay.
What that is converted to use without taking your firing hand off the stock for a right-hander, which I guess with a short weapon like this makes it faster to use, a little bit faster to use than having to flip it over and try and left hand operate the bolt. But honestly, you'd just be better off training to use a conventional one. So at this point, I'd normally run and get a Mosin carbine to compare, but there really is no point.
It's just another thing that makes me laugh that instead of just creating a left-handed bolt action, the point was driven home by like, you want a left-handed bolt action? I'll give you a left-handed bolt action.
Yep. No, that definitely feels like I was questioning it like it was a real criticism, but in reality, that's clearly a troll. Oh no, not again.
So this thing is layers of cursed.
What the? How is that? Now I know Tomacuzi is something else. Why is this one half sterling?
It's a nice mixture of a lot of things. Part Thompson, part Uzi.
Emotional support sterling. This is Churchill's sterling, so added emotional support.
When you fire the last shot, the magazine automatically ejects.
Interesting. How?
And you can see on the side it's chambered in 357 SIG for reasons unknown.
I saw that. Like it's written on, trailing off.
So what's your thoughts on the Tomacuzi?
I don't know. I think I'm becoming numb to this stuff.
He's broken.
Thoughts? Well, the magazine, I'm not quite grasping how that's attaching, because it's supposed to go up a slot and then lock in. I don't think it's got enough support the way it's modelled there. And then, it kicking out automatically is maybe questionable. Aesthetics-wise, I mean, I'm never going to be happy with messing with the Thompson, really. And this is substantially messed with.
The obnoxiously long bursts are the thing that I actually hated most. So I thought it was fully automatic.
Oh god, it's burst fire.
It's in either 4-round burst or 17-round burst. So I thought I'd set it to fully automatic. What I'd actually done is set it to 17-round burst.
Do we know why they've chosen 17?
Well, it's 4 and 17, and the magazine size is 69 rounds. I think it's to make it so that if you do follow through in every burst, you get 1 round left. So you get this horrible moment where you think you've got ammunition, you fire, and you get pew, and your magazine drops away, which is a real, like, oh no moment, because reliant, I guess, but there's no other gun that gives you that effect, that gives you that sensation that you feel like you've got loads of rounds left, and you fire one, and your magazine just embarrassingly falls to the floor.
That has to be the whole design intent of that, I think. Burst fire is famously 3 at the most, because the third, and even then the third round nearly always misses. So I don't know, actually. Having said that, if you ever get to shoot an MG42, 50 round bursts are kind of optimal. You can overcome the initial recoil impulse and then hold it on for the rest. But then you may as well just have, this is my burst.
I don't know if you recall a conversation we had last time we looked at H3 towards the end of the recording. Here's a reminder for you. So what I want to see next is, you're familiar with the sort of gun meme of I've unbullpupped your SA-80, I've unbullpupped your FAMAS.
People keep tweeting it at me. If I wasn't already familiar, I am now. Oh.
So you know how I told you, please don't look at social media for a couple of days?
Oh. I'm amazed no one pushed this at me.
There's been a conscious effort of us to prevent that, so you can see this the first time.
God. Oh, it's horrible. Oh, and it's got an M4 stock on it as well. You could have at least put an AR-18 stock on it. Oh, it's awful.
I left a comment on Anton's devlog saying, I can't help but feel like this is our fault. And he said, yep, this is your fault. He sent me some work in progress images of it. So we have now become part of H3 history.
I mean, I must admit, that's cool.
Very cool.
Horror. The horror.
I was very excited when he sent me that Discord message.
Right. Wait there.
That was the angriest wait there you've ever given me.
It's not real and it can't hurt me. So let's break it down. Here's an L85A1, 1988. Oh Lord! No wonder you wanted to surprise me with this.
It's been so. I've been asking people in our Discord not to tweet you. I've been like nervously checking Twitter to see if it got shared around. I was like, please, and me texting you saying, if you can just avoid looking at Twitter for a few days, if you can avoid looking at social media for a few days. I just knew as soon as that got into the game, people were going to be sending it to you. So I'm so glad we've been able to avoid you seeing this until now.
You utter bastards, the lot of you. Right, come on, let's think this through. So the butt plate is gone. Amusingly, it looks like there's residue where someone's scraped off. Like, remove the butt plate, there's like a little line of goo left over, and famously these do break down, so maybe it's that. And then the cheek piece, which is affixed with the high-tech late 20th century polymer adhesive known as araldite, by the way. That's what holds this on. Anyway, that's been stripped off, and you can see the ghost of it on the body, as it's known, the upper receiver. It's got a Picatinny rail on it, which it ought not to, but hey. I actually don't think I've messed with the SA-80 and H3 VR. I don't know why not. I should try it out. Anyway.
You've got another variant to toy with now.
I mean, as far as the barrel goes, we've shortened the barrel. We've removed a load of the body and the TMH, the upper and lower receiver, back to there. That's plausible. You can do that. Move the handguard back. I mean, the M4 stock's horrifying, by the way. Could somebody please make me a version with a green AR-18 stock on it? I think I deserve that at this point. Mechanically. So I'm just wondering if the trigger mechanism is at all plausible here, because there's some stuff going on there, and I'm not sure that you'd be able to just put the trigger mech back there. Trigger mechanism housing. Normally, trigger here, bar inside, runs down the length of the lower receiver. I don't know, it'd be very tight. What I'm getting at is this change lever, this selector here, has an axle. So you'd have to fit a pivot for the trigger. Well, not as such, because the pivot is outside the receiver. I think it might just go, but I think you'd need to look at it in detail to see if it would work or not. It would be kind of an uncomfortable beast. Do you know, I've often wondered, like, would it be a straightforward, would you have to design new receivers for this if you were going to do it this way, and then there's no point, you're not unbullpupping it, you're designing a new AR-18. But yeah, if we can just fix the stock, I won't hate this.
It looks so bizarre, the trigger being so much lower than the magazine controls.
Yes.
It doesn't look ergonomically comfortable, even in this configuration.
It doesn't, but if you think about an AR-15, the receivers are very tall. You know, the SA-80 is it's a lump, but it's not very tall, because it can't be, really. In fact, the original version is much slimmer. God help me, I kind of want to try it out now.
Who are you and what have you done with Jonathan Ferguson?
Can you change the stock?
I do love the detail of leaving the sticky stuff residue on there.
That is top notch. Subtle trolling there. What's really weird is I wore my SA-80 t-shirt for this record, having no idea you were going to show me an SA-80 of any kind. You
just felt a disturbance in the force.
I think it's because it's the closest thing I had to an EM2, and we were doing Atomfall with an EM2 in it.
Yeah.
That's definitely why I wore it. I wasn't even thinking about the...
Yeah, I had to get you to grab an EM2 for Atomfall. I feel like I've been quite kind by adding all the green accessories, at least.
Kindness doesn't enter into this. How are the drills working on the reloads with this arrangement?
When I used it in game, the first time I used it, by reflex, I brought my elbow out as if to reload it. It's still a bullpup, and I was like, oh no, not today.
But, you know, you do have the hold open catch on this side, on the left side. So if we're grasping it back here, you do your reload with your left hand. Sorry, I can't hold this up on camera. So we hold open with the catch. You would reach up, magazine on, reach up, hit the catch with your thumb. It works. It's maybe not as good as the slap of the ping pong paddle, but it's not a million miles away.
So just for a little extra context, what you're about to see is a clip from the podcast we did with Anton, which viewers can find at patreon.com/watchexp, wink to camera, which explains a little more this whole thing that you've just seen. It goes into a bit more detail. What have we got to do to get an EXP collab going? What's the pitching process? Can you unbullpup an SA-80?
What would be the bullpup weapon that would be the greatest crime to unbullpup it? Would it be the SA-80? Like, would you say? I mean, you can speak from this. Do the English deserve that the most?
British, please.
The
would be
EM2
funny.
is probably
The EM2 would cause the most psychic damage to Jonathan, but I think...
I mean, that's what we're talking about, isn't it? Surely.
I don't know if he deserves that. I would feel genuinely bad.
Thank you, Anton.
But if at any point we can pitch some ideas your way and work on something cursed, let us know. We'd love to do
Absolutely.
that. I'm now very... Oh, no! No, you've done it! You utter bastards. Oh, that was such a bait and switch.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh, I hate you so much.
This is the EM5 Ferguson.
God, it makes the Bullpup SA80 look amazing. Oh, it's got a telescoping stock. EM5?
Well, if you flip a 2 backwards, looks like a 5.
Oh, God. EM5 Ferguson. Oh, what a legacy.
Yeah, officially had a gun in H3 named after you now.
Right. Emotional support weapon required.
If there was ever a time.
EM. Emotional. Here it is. It's not real and it can't hurt you. I will, right, having started to come to terms with this, it's a clever bit of design. You'd have to design a new gun for this. So the SA-80, I think you could plausibly butcher an SA-80, and who would care, to create that. This would be a crime against history, for one thing. And for another, there isn't really a way to create that complete forging. Well, technically a casting, actually, I believe. We have a blank casting for an EM2 body. You'd have to design a whole new one. I kind of grudgingly like the way the telescoping butt works. If you were forcing me at gunpoint to design this, or suggest designs for this, probably want an SLR buttstock on it, a fixed one. It's not a happy-looking creature, is it?
I mean,
not really.
I kind of begrudgingly like it.
Which bit do you like, Dave?
The aesthetics sort of work for me. I am a big fan of bullpups. I wasn't. Maybe it's just because, you know, now we've got this this connection to the game that our work together has helped create this Franken beast that I can't help but love this strange gun child.
Now, interesting point. So I'm coping by analysing here. Now, there is, design-wise on the EM2, this is just sheet metal. This is bridging the gap. The receiver stops here, but you need to put the trigger group up here, and you need the handguard up here, so they just put a bit of sheet metal over it, amusingly, as a heat shield, essentially, and for aesthetics. So this design means you don't need that, because... Oh, hang on. I don't think this works as a design... Because, okay, we do away with that cover, we bring everything back, we put this back here. The problem is, you need this, because this is the barrel. Under here is the barrel, and then the breech, the thick bit of the barrel, and then the breech. This bolt comes... Nope, take the magazine off. Lock it open. The chamber, this is the chamber. So what you've done is cut the chamber off. So there's nowhere for the cartridges to go. Took me longer than it should have to realise that. So I think I've successfully proven that it's not real and it can't hurt me. This was conceptualised as a bullpup from the very start. They were never even going to try and make a conventional design. There were conventional designs from Enfield, our Royal Small Arms Factory, Design and Development Department. They needed to meet an 8-pound strict weight limit for a lightweight automatic rifle, and the only way they could do that while keeping the full-length barrel that they thought they needed, 24 inches, was to eliminate conventional butt assembly and the mounting hardware for that. That was the only way to bring it down. So this was always a bullpup, but there was never any thought of a conventional design. SA-80 started out as a series of design studies that included conventional designs, and it's directly lifted from the AR-18, which was a conventional design. So it does make sense that there would be more wiggle room for turning it back into a conventional laid out rifle. This is bullpup forever, my friends. I know this thing.
Thought I'd give you a little treat. Or I hope it's a treat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of a... After the cursed unbullpupping, we have a cursed bullpupping. As you would have seen and guessed, this is in fact an AR-18, fully automatic 18, not a 180, that was bullpupped. Now, there's some folklore around this. that I think I might put in one of our videos. It's in my book if you've come across that. This is one that Sterling made, and there are different explanations for why they did that. So we'll break that down at some point. But for this, it's probably enough to point out, before we see this thing working, that this thing doesn't work. There's literally no way to fire it. It's a mock-up. So, albeit made from real gun parts.
Funnily enough, Anton does say in his devlog when he showed this off that there's no trigger linkage, and he just says, doesn't stop us in hot dog land, which I have to respect.
Fair enough. Hot dog land is probably the best place for this thing. Now, the real thing has some delightful paint overspray on it from where they damaged it in the putting together and then resprayed it. I'm not going to criticise not getting this thing quite right. It's fairly horrifying. But it's a piece of horrifying history, put it that way. Horrible history, if you will. This was never turned into a real firearm. If it had been, I don't know if this was apparent in VR, but there's, by sticking this onto the handguard, you're kind of really ruining the ergonomics. You've only got one place you can grasp the thing. Oh, one last point that those of you who've played with the H3 VR version, take a look at the front sight. It's two front sights stacked on top of each other, which looks very video gamey. We've seen that kind of fudge done in stuff before. They've literally gone, oh no, the sight's now too low. I know. We'll just cut off the sight protectors, weld on a second front sight, and then put a sheet metal riser on there for the rear sight.
When the H3 version looks like that's been the case for the rear sight as well. There's just a rear sight block dropped onto another rear sight block.
Yeah, so they've either misread the original or just gone, what the hell? We'll do the same as they did on the front. Because that's just a piece of bent sheet metal welded in place. Quite nicely done, actually. Of the corners cut on this thing, that's probably the better bit of work.
Final wrap-up thoughts as to what you've seen today. What's the next thing that you'd hate to see? Yeah, I know you don't want to say anything else now, just because you don't want to give Antoine ammunition.
I can't think of much worse than a Bullpup DM2. I can't believe you suggested it. He reacted with empathy and compassion and didn't want to do it, and then he made him do it anyway. He's
obviously slept on it and thought, you know what? No, let's do it.
I tell you what I would like to see, which probably means it won't happen, and that's a Bullpup Sterling. Because they already made short pistol length versions of it, so if you put all the working parts back here with a butt pad, maybe like the Viper idea, but based on that far too practical. No one will do it. I'm going to stop talking about things I don't want to see, because clearly the universe manifests them when I do.
Yeah, speaking of those monkey paw wishes.
Yeah.
Thanks again to War Thunder for sponsoring this episode. Remember to check out the links in the description and pinned comment to hop into the action. New and returning players who haven't played in at least 6 months on PC and consoles receive a massive bonus pack, including an exclusive vehicle decoration, 100,000 silver lines, exclusive vehicles, and 7 days of premium account time. Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed those new cursed guns and enjoyed the episode. If you did, be sure to click the like button, subscribe, and let us know in the comments what games, guns, movies, or other experts you'd like to see on the channel. As always, a huge shout out to all of our supporters over on Patreon for helping to make this project happen and for continuing to support the work we're doing here at EXP. Links to support the Royal Armouries will be in the description below, as will links to all of our socials. But until we see each other again in the next episode, thank you again for watching, and we will see you real soon.